Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to the Blob. So, yeah, our last level, it's kind of funny, you move to the right on the analog stick to get to this point, then you have to press up to get to that point, which I guess that kind of makes sense. The last level was Gungan Traz Island, and I can't press left now to get to the new level. I have to press up again. And yeah, the levels are getting bigger. They're increasing the amount of enemies. They're increasing the variety of enemies. It seems like the game is just getting further and further away from being something that a kid could actually see the credits on. Seems like the bad guys are experimenting on their own guys. So they're introducing the idea of color-specific armor, which I guess that might mean something. That at least has the enemies play a little bit more in the same realm of what the Blob is doing, changing his colors. But honestly, these jet bike characters, I think, are still more annoying than the armored guys will be, because the jet bike guys in particular try to ram into you, which is fine, but then they also drop the leech bots, which were already annoying. Yeah, and increasingly with every new level, I'm less and less interested in doing everything, less and less interested in reading. I just want to get to the end. The professor asked me to give you the situation on the dock lines. The Gungan Traz artist told us that many gradients were already taken from the prison and shipped off from these docks. They've also been transporting color container ships like the one behind me. We're supposed to stop to the whole dockside operation, but first up, we've got Trouble Inc. to develop some new kind of super soldier. These elite Inkies, they're faster than regular Inkies. Luckily, the Puff has worked out their weakness. To slam an elite Inky, you need to match its color, so you must be red to slam a red elite Inky. Slamming an elite Inky costs 4 paint points. Don't attack unless you have plenty of paint points in the right color. So it already is fairly difficult a lot of times to find and use the compass to figure out where we're going. Notice how the game starts completely silent until we start coloring in the world. And just running around a little bit like this actually is very helpful. I also noticed when looking back on the footage of the last level that there were some trees that were definitely in the edges. So there was like a tree up here on the edge of a wall that I missed and didn't turn into something colored. Which, yeah, I could explain some of the tree challenges. We've seen a system here where water washes out paint, and we're converting the inked water in seas So it would be nice at some point if the oceans turned from just clear water into a full flowing inked section. Now what's interesting about this is it seems like the containers are coloring the things above them even though they're not really connected, which that's kind of what I wanted this whole time, is that you could touch something and it would suck out points and go higher. Like when I touch that, that's 1 point, but it's coloring 2 things. Or 3 things. There's a whole underside of the ship. Although we're kind of missing the quests so far. So it feels like I can jump a little higher, but the controls are fairly wonky still. And I was trying to use like locking to get to that higher spot, and the game just isn't letting me do it. On one hand, this would feel like a level that you're actually getting to do pretty easily. On the other hand, this might be a level where trying to paint 100% of everything is actually really, really difficult. Just because of all the little rock walls and all the bits of grasses. Although, actually, the achievement for getting 100% of all the world colored in doesn't actually, I think, count a lot of this stuff. But I don't know if that includes the exterior rock walls. I could see it being the walls and not being the other sections. Alright, let's see what this do. Okay, so we already did that challenge. We can't fight that guy. We've got an electrical panel. And then we've got this. And we have a challenge that we didn't start. Get to that point. See, I don't know if these walls here would count towards 100% painting. If anything, this feels like this is a really, really small section. Like, it's kind of just a... we want green, which means we want blue, and then yellow. Alright. Where's the next closest blue? See, there's only that one guy, so I kind of wonder if really are just supposed to take on all the enemies. Okay, it does look like there's a challenge over here. Okay. It really doesn't matter if things stay painted. Okay, we need yellow for everything. There's a decent chance we're gonna fail on that aspect. Now let me just propose a thought here. The narrative of this story is the I.N.K.T is this controlling organization that absolutely wants everything colored the way they want it, which is in black and white. How is Artsy really much different there when she gives us a challenge? I mean, we could always refuse a challenge, I suppose, but it's not that different of a situation when the game is also telling you to paint things specific colors. And it really does force you into not being as random artsy as you might want to. I.N.K.T is using continuous shifts to transport color. Where are they taking the color and why? Well, of its purpose, the short of I.N.K.T has set sail for last time, so that was just 450 yellow paint. Okay. So we're good on that level. We just need to, in a very brief amount of time, reach where we were going. And that was a one-time switch. But yeah, obviously, if you were going to make a game like this brand new, you'd want to be able to have blobs of paint be actual blobs. Just a splash of paint here, splash of paint there. Probably want to emphasize not trying to 100% paint a world, but instead just hit something. Or at least you'd like some kind of option for that. Although that wouldn't be very pretty either. Now we're getting somewhere. Paint everything on the deck yellow. Okay. Meanwhile, in the middle of this quest, we upgrade a transforming orb. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Probably easier to go down this way. But you can't like jump up and hit things from below. Nope, you can actually only escape this way. Ooh. I also noticed that no. I'm almost certainly going to fail this. I also noticed that there was some paint points way can't believe I actually succeed there. Way at the top of these cranes, which I suspect we probably are doing this to reach that. Hold it right there. Blob inked is a new trap. These are electric planes. If you get zapped, you'll lose a life. Slam the button to switch them off. Well, interesting that that's where they decided to mention that. Yeah, there's a whole section there, like, isn't it? Let's get some more paint. Jump here, and then we're going for a massive jump all the way over here. Nah, I won't let you up there. But there is a challenge somewhere here that we've still missed. There it is. Purple. Okay. I guess the closest comparison you might have to being able to color things would be like Minecraft dying of certain objects and mining items like squid ink to be able to dye things of colors. Yeah. Clearly we've missed stuff. But the indicator really isn't going to tell me that. And I imagine what's going to happen is we're going to get to this next section. And in this next section it's going to be a much bigger area that would really negate the thought that this is the right level to try and paint everything in. Ink has taken over the lighthouse from the top of the cliff. There's a small chance that like the last level will just be a boss fight and there will be only one thing that needs to be painted, or a few things that need to be painted. Beyond the docks where Ink has been transporting the gradients. Liberate through them to make your way through the sector gate. It's better to start with these. Because if we do these chase sequences while we have paint, we'll just paint things. Interesting that there's just a variety of color coming out of that too. We're still doing the race. Very little like green landmass in this level. Nope. Has not what I wanted to do. I find it strange that the slopes can be painted when so much of the rest of the ground is not painted. Let's see if we see purple and yellow. Then let me guess I'm supposed to paint all of this orange. I actually can't get up there, can I? These controls are still very wonky. Assume that we're supposed to do that in that color and that in that color and that in that color. That would all make some sense. Everything in red here. .25% of the whole level has been painted. This may just be a case, too, where the game really just wants random colors, and they just want all the containers painted. I see these electric zaps on the other side of that gate, and I question what that's really worth. Let's see what the charge is. Spectrum of yellow, blue, red, purple, green. Mix it up. Okay. So, this is all yellow. Obviously. These are supposed to be green. Obviously. These are supposed to be orange. So then we just need to get purple and red somehow. And there's just kind of no way this is going to work. You've got to get here, get to this point. Then you hit this one, and that keeps everything green. Then you hit this one, and that keeps everything blue. And then you purple this. Blue this. "12 seconds. 6 seconds. 2 seconds. Yep, definitely a challenge that you're not likely to finish on the first try if you're a young kid, particularly if you've never really, if you're still struggling to figure out what they mean, which what they mean here is just not explained well at all. that specific areas have specific specific colors that they must be, and it isn't just a case of you can pick any random color. And that's something definitely I would just improve upon on this game if I was gonna make a new one, is I would reprogram all of that to say, hey, we need it to be 50% this color, 50% this color, 50% this color. Well, if that's too many percentages, I know, but yeah. And I would still, even at that, have a lot of cheating going on in favor of the player, so that you would, as a kid, as a player, still accomplish your goal if it was really closer to 49% one and 51% the other. Like, I just don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. So let's just move to another section, I guess. People shooting me all over the place. And that's annoying that there's just like this one rock you'd have to find and reach. Here. It's perhaps a little surprising that you even have any assistance being given to you for these shipping containers in the first place. I hear buzzing, I see buzzing, but I'm not standing. Why am I being electrified here? Definitely there's a question as to why there's such an inconsistency. I lost my track of thought there. With the pipes. If the pipes are flowing in color, why don't all the pipes just flow in color? Save what probably is a small amount of aliens. I question if there's a section here where we could clean up the enemy police stations and then be in less danger of being attacked by people. Like, there's one. But we're all over the place. What's this glowing thing here? Just going to do this one. collect a bunch of red. We'll mostly ignore these guys. Jump over here. New challenge. And can I turn around and hit the blimp? Not fast enough. 30 seconds to fill this in, but I don't have enough blood. Not blood. Although that does make an interesting point that this really could be a vampire game, and you could be draining characters of blood. You know, it's not worth it to do that. We should collect a bunch of red as best as we can. Possibly even take out these enemies. Like, particularly since you already failed the first time. Run around, taking out these enemies first. And that clears the path. Then we'll get hopefully enough red. At 55. Then we'll do this. It definitely wouldn't be a kid's game, however, if you were running around some kind of vampire town and painting the walls red with blood. Plus, that really wouldn't get you other colors much. Actually, as much as I might complain, I kind of think the core concept of the colors of the blob makes sense. Like, I really don't have a complaint about being red, green, or blue. This is similar to Pikmin. Pikmin perhaps a bit more creative in that the red and yellow Pikmin have a little bit more going for them than just being a color. Like, yellow Pikmin can be flung higher. Red Pikmin, I believe, are fireproof. Blue Pikmin can walk in the water and not drown. And noticeably, when the Pikmin series of games went forward, they didn't just make purple Pikmin a combination of red and blue abilities. They made new Pikmin that look different. 60 orange. I'm gonna just hope I have enough paint when I reach it. Not quite. So maybe you would steal from that idea a little bit more and have the blob, when he is red, be fireproof, and have the blob, when he is blue, be waterproof. I did notice that, well, when the water is not inky, you can get on the water, you can only get on top of the water, you can't get down lower. And in the previous level, there was an entire collectibles that were in the sewer when it was drained, but almost certainly inaccessible. Okay. Everything orange. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Guess you have to get back up here. More items. Two more items. Just made it. Barely made it in time. Pretty obviously I am low on paint. What I'm gonna do is drop down here. That actually gives you way too much time. See what this changes. Blue. Okay, almost certainly going to fail in this challenge. But we can start. Wonky controls. The fact that they have these little spires makes me feel like those should become spouts that would spit out color. Get back up here. The game really does just give you way too much time. We see different kinds of trains instead of monorails in the background there. It kind of feels like you could just run across the wall. Basically have to be able to jump over that wall, don't you? That's the only way out. There's this whole lighthouse thing, and we didn't do anything with that lighthouse yet. And this air jet thing, if that was supposed to be the next step. Haven't unlocked it yet. Still, it's really hard to hit all these enemies. 50 yellow. Okay, we've got the number, we've got the... we don't have the color. That was an awkward way to do that. Still having to press the button 50 times is ridiculous. You know, this might be a great example of a game where they've used kid-friendly aesthetics as a crutch to make a game that really has very little narrative elements. Yes, there are characters telling you what to do specifically in quests, but we have no idea who the Blob is as a person. He's had no character establishment, let alone the development. We don't really know anything about these underground people other than they want us to do things. The idea of losing a life completely by being electrocuted is not appealing. The fact that I'm having to do the rest of this quest without any ink in me is not appealing. So I'm gonna just have to do that again. Smash the gel with 100 paint points of any color. I'm at 0. That's interesting, I hit the edge of that water and it didn't count it as a mistake. That's not what I meant to do at all. And then being stopped in the middle of trying to do everything. To see a cutscene because I unlocked something else is extremely weird. There's just not a lot of paint here. See, noticeably, that is what you would want to see happen in this game, is that as you paint things in, there should be more opportunities for more collection of more paint. So the game should get easier as you go and as you paint in the world, instead of this just pathetic amount of paint. Actually going to hit all the trees in this level? Probably not. The world is 50% painted, which that does imply to me that this could be a smaller area. I don't like how they have these sections where you can't smoothly roll against an enemy, though. Like, well, not an enemy, but a wall. you should be able to, without getting up on this point, roll alongside all this, hit everything. We still don't really have a lot of paint, just because of how much is going on. We are very much just getting knocked around. They don't design these levels as like one big central area where you can go in any direction, and that might work better. 60 blue. It's still incredibly low on paint. Work your way around the backside of it and avoid fighting any of the armored elite guys. So yeah, I think ideally what you'd want to see is, instead of single gates that open up to one linear location, you would want to instead see a shield of sorts that was circular in every direction, or if not a circular shield, a gate system in which things are rings. Yeah, there could be 4 gates, east, north, south, east, and west, all connected to the same requirement, the same switch. Still feel like it's fairly unlikely you're gonna actually get all the trees or anything. Half of these challenges feel like they're not worth it. Yellow. Okay. If I get this water filter going, what is that really going to do for me? It kind of feels like after the first couple of these water filters were being added just because they already had been designed. That took a lot of paint. So, pretty sure that there's still a challenge over here. Or 2. Yellow, blue, and green. So that's just yellow that needs to be done. Good. I got lucky there. It is somewhat weird, I would say, that this gate here doesn't want to open. Like, all of a sudden that is becoming just like the de facto way in which areas are being designated, is just to have short fences that you would obviously think a gate would have opened to. 100 paint points. $68. Jump in here while we push in the 68 we have here. We'll hope that the paint box refill. We can grab another 20, which still won't be enough, but another 20 will be. So where are we on progress here? Says we've been playing for 10 minutes, which that is not accurate at all. It's been 52 minutes. We painted 57% of the landmarks, so we're at the 50% point on that. 7 out of 13 landmarks, 2 out of 3 transforms, 58 out of 110 trees, half of the radians, half of the challenges, half of the styles, half of the billboards. No, I have 10 minutes left. So we just gotta hurry. Once again, I think the game is just screwing me here. Like, are we really getting to the point where maybe maybe the challenges cannot even be completed all in one run? Let's just hit the water and see if that helps us any. Like, pretty obviously if we were going to get a billboard. 50 yellow paint points. Do that, and then wait, I guess, until it refills. Yellow. So what have I done so wrong that I'm running out of time? It probably is just a case that I need to move to the next section. What? I thought I had 50. Oh, this is... got like 6 seconds. Oh boy, would I love that overworld map too, because that would certainly, right now, as I'm stressing out on how can I just even finish the 51. How many is he gonna ask? $71. 80. I misread it. It's 80. Okay, well, 81 should do it that time. Yeah. For a kids game, these kinds of challenges might be better if you win, you fail, still get to keep your progress. Instead of it resetting to an 80. Got me a minute. There's a terraforming in this general direction. So you want to hit that. But not really a lot to do in these levels once you've kind of done everything. You're looking for like the last few things to touch in color. This is a safer area, certainly, but this is still locked. So I think the game is really just that really killed the music too. So yeah, undoubtedly there would be billboards and buildings, and probably radians, and walls, and styles, and everything else. A little bit of everything. I guess that explains the electric walls somewhat over here too, is that they didn't want you to try and cheat. They wanted you to go through this gate. And that gives me a few more minutes, but I really am fairly short. Our goal is in sight, Blob. The bridge leads up to the cliff top. Yeah,
Blob?
There's much to do. The canals are choked with ink. Clean up this container yard and then head up to the gate. Yeah, the levels have just gotten ridiculously long now. Let's see where this leads. And we know what happens when we run out of time now. We're given a death penalty, and then we hope with the death penalty we're given a few more minutes. I've been touching the walls to paint them in. definitely feels like an area that is just going to be totally choked with well, interesting, that didn't actually kill me, as it dropped a life that I could pick up. Which, that's intriguing. I know there's a lot of sections where that's the only thing that makes sense, is that you have to risk taking damage. 50 blue paint points. I think we can do that. Yep. Yeah, you have to either risk taking damage or being sludged by running on the outside of a canal to hit a building, or you clear the water out first and then you just risk hitting water. Neither of which are super helpful, but every little quest is giving me a little bit of time back, but really not anywhere close to the amount of time you're investing in it. It's kind of obvious that you can't afford to paint the walls and try and get 100% painted in these later levels in particular. There's a need for improved movement tech, and I just don't see improved movement tech happening here. I'm still playing what is effectively an awkward half-programmed skating game, where instead of skating on skates, you're sliding on a blob paint. Brown is almost certainly not the color these are supposed to be. It's a shame there seems like there's no way to see the posters and the kind of art textures. You'd think you'd be unlocking those with every potential new billboard. See, this is going to be irritating because if I want to see this properly, I'm going to have to start this one. Alright, we need to be green. That means that. And hit that, hit that, hit that, hit that. What is this one? Yellow, blue, green. Oh, I'm an idiot, aren't I? The whole time the game has been showing me what colors to paint things, hasn't it? So, I never really had to question it. I just had to look at the color of the highlight and Yeah. I just have done a really terrible job of realizing that. Well, definitely can't say I'm the smartest tool in the shed ever, but I do consider myself at least as smart as your average adult or average kid, and the fact that we're maybe 3 levels away from the game being done, and just now I'm realizing that that's how the color system works, highlights that they didn't bother to really explain themselves well. Which I totally would agree with that thought, because I didn't understand it the first time for 3 levels either. Orange. Okay, so we need a red. I don't see red. I mean, at a certain level, you can hit that. Gonna run out of paint again. It's fairly common that we're running out of paint. Darn it. Paint again. Let's just ignore that. Get a life. See what this challenges. Get the green paint. Okay. Yellow. Blue. Green. Yeah, we're running out of time. I'm now under the pressure that I don't really want to search and look for any extras. There's no like unique extras in this game at all. It's not like you're finding in the corner one special picture that's only going to be in that one place and is going to be visually interesting in any way. No little Easter egg type filling content. keep my paint levels up to 100 at all times. And see, I may actually already be able to open this door. So, yeah. Undoubtedly, I missed some stuff. Tank Depot. Specialized Inky resistance and head to the gate. Lighthouse is just beyond there. Yeah, there's a whole nother section after this area. Now, if I'm getting paint, if I'm getting paint, there's a whole bunch of billboards around here. And this is, I guess, just a whole challenge we're trying to activate before our super mode runs out, but no such luck. Right, so we need a blue. Weird to have such a small thing. There we go. Yeah, little small pipes that can be painted. Obviously the blob is supposed to get bigger and smaller, and that's supposed to play a big factor in this, but it really doesn't. I think a more distinct small version of the blob that shrinks down and does something like a Metroid morph ball would make some sense, and then an average sized blob, and then if you're gonna have a giant blob, that probably is just for like big mecha fights, which, yeah, you could have had that. You could have had giant robotic Inky type characters but fighting you. We've got 10 minutes. And a lot of stuff that you potentially would want to paint in. Although, I guess if you're just going to go by the numbers, it would make a lot more sense to go for buildings first, because every little building you are touching and painting in is worth 100 points, where the painting in the trees is only worth 50. It's interesting there's ink in the middle of those buildings. I don't like how the buildings, though, have... This is still very wonky controls. And if I don't complete this challenge, then I don't know what other challenges would unlock in this section. I guess I can fairly assume that the challenges of the previous gated area are not going to be locked or unlocked based on what I'm doing in this area. That's a good guess. Let's see. There really isn't a lot going on here. Otherwise, though. Paint in every tree, paint in everything, gain more paint. Try for billboards. I guess what we're really trying to do is just to see if we can get high enough to get a gold score. We're now at 75% over being painted, but yeah. I would need 13 more trees, a whole bunch of gradients, a whole bunch of challenges, one more style, 3 more billboards. I don't hold out a lot of help. Find this next challenge and see what it is. Okay, there's some challenge somewhere over here. It's gotta be kind of high up. And it's a painting challenge, so it's probably going to be a really sucky challenge. Purple, red, blue. Guys are just knocking me around, and I'm not even paying attention to them. Which I guess you kind of have to do pay a little bit of attention to. be all the blues. All around on that. Yeah, these enemies running into you is definitely gonna be a problem. And we'd have to find the blue to get the purple. And then yeah, I'm just not gonna get it. Let's just take this and let's just move on. I don't understand the deal, though, with these air cannons. Because this is like twice now we found an air cannon and orange, red, yellow, and red. Yeah. Go ahead and stop the previous. Let's go with orange to start with. Oh no. Seriously? And this is the only point now where this chute unlocks, is when it's needed to get you back to where you were to start with. And see, we've got enough time here, so it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to skip this fight. But okay, what you're supposed to do there, just jump off. Seems to me like I can only take it on with yellow to start with. We'll see what happens after we destroy the yellow section. Is it gonna shoot me out on the electric panel? But I'll stupidly jump on the electric panel. Let's see what this does. Interesting, you're using the wind tunnels to shoot yourself up to the target. Which makes me think that this does put you up where you need to be, but it did. You just had to spin around one way or the other. So now the lighthouse is turned back into a disco ball lighthouse. It's an interesting thought, certainly, to ask as to, is funky music really even like the right kind of music to play for a new generation of kids who would play this kind of game? Like, or is that just old people thinking that their music is, that they thought was cool when they were young, is still cool? because if you were making a regular skater game, you probably would try to license out other kinds of music and pop music and things like that. Now, what's not worth doing is targeting every single enemy. What might be worth doing is seeing if we can get a couple of these challenges done while we have some time. Orange. Yellow. And then that is green. Blue. Darn it. See, these just respawn those guys, so that doesn't actually do anything for us, does it? Yeah, if this was a kid's game and you have your kid screaming "darn it" every time they're failing because of wonky controls, that doesn't lead to a good situation. Certainly, that doesn't make happier people, parents or kids playing. I imagine they probably save a lot of money though by, I got rid of that part, not having licensed music. We need a red. So I'm just gonna look around here. Find the red. Really what I'm trying to do is just get to gold, and we're already there, so now it is just a matter of trying to find my own level of enjoyment and own level of satisfaction. So I'm just going to preemptively paint a lot of this if I can. Now let's start this quest. There we go. This compass still pretty useless overall, though, as far as where would I go to get the last billboard? Where would I go to find something else that I potentially missed? Am I supposed to try to hit the glass tunnel section? many challenges are left. We somehow got all the trees, we got all the transforming, we got all the landmarks. There's one more challenge. There's a lot of gradients we've missed, there's a billboard we've missed, and there's a style we missed. So it would be very hard to get the rest of this. Purple, red, blue. We have some purple we want to hit. Okay. I think this is a case where those want to be purple. And the one in the middle wants to be purple. So if I get all the purple done first, then it's just blue. Oh, the paint is just too far away. Purple. One purple still needed to be done. A bunch of blue needs to be done. Try this again. Purple, purple. Okay. Now we'll smash these and get rid of those enemies. We need 2 blue. Should be those 2. And now it's just red. And 1 blue. Okay. Like, there's not enough pathway to move somewhere without bumping into something else. And it feels like that's kind of intentional, that the game is just trying to screw you over and waste your time. One blue. Okay. So then that would be all challenges complete. So then it really would just be find a billboard, find a gradient, maybe find a style. Gradients are inherently going to be around an area that wasn't fully painted in. Billboards are going to be in more building looking sections, or industrial looking sections. The camera is going to play a really big role in how terrible this experience will be. And if I could look around really well, I could find the missing gradients, the missing billboard. If I can't look around, then who knows? There's a decent chance that the gradients are hidden somewhere very, very far away. And the map's not going to help us any. Well, I think I kind of know where the billboard is. So, let's paint in this thing here. Go over here. Hitting a wall really is just giving you 10 points. Now, would any gradients have been released because I painted in this whole silo? No. Are we actually anywhere close to being 100% painted in? I wondered. That's an interesting question. 91% painted in. No. Yeah, I don't think that that's a reasonable goal to shoot for. Only have 4 more minutes, and so I'm heavily relying on the fact that I kind of know we can shoot ourselves back up with the wind cannon. Otherwise, it might take 4 minutes just to slowly crawl back up to the final section. Blimp is another factor. Let's see if we can maybe hit the blimp here. But either I wait for the blimp, and that takes too long, I just have no idea where the blimp is, and we really don't have time to wait for it. So we've got like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Blimp seems to be fairly far away. More than 2 minutes away. I wouldn't be surprised if I missed some radians in the third ship. Yeah, it's either going to boil down to I missed a style and some radians in this first little area, or I missed it in the third ship. We've got 1:40, so we really don't have any time to play with it any further. We're at almost 600,000 points, which there's clearly a scale at which these points should be, somewhere between 100,000 and a million. But I think the scale's fairly wide, in that you can miss a lot of things and still get a pretty high score. And I don't believe I saw any kind of achievement around getting 1,000,000 or any kind of number. So we, for awards, got 91% painted, got all the challenges, got all the billboards, all the landmarks. It'd be nice if you went back to these levels and at least those elements weren't things that were reset. We missed the blimp, we missed the radians, we missed one style, and we did not beat it in 28 minutes. Even the game is showing how long they expect even speedrunners to beat these levels, and that the levels are getting really really long. I don't like that these are called styles, because if these really are styles, I'm not recognizing it. Like, it would kind of make some sense that finding 13 styles would mean that there are 13 different types of styles of textures when you paint in a building, and then buildings would just increasingly look more varied as they get painted in, as it just picks a random style and texture. Of course, you couldn't do that even in a modern game, because having that many textures load into video RAM would be a nightmare. So that can't be what a style should have meant. It seems to me in this game a style means nothing. It's just a squiggly line that's a collectible. But it certainly could have been textures to unlock in the extras menu to show off paintings or concept art or something like that. Styles couldn't even be styles for like music. And now, I guess if you made the music notes and you had to find all the music notes in the game to unlock a new soundtrack, okay, that makes some sense. There isn't really a direct connection between the music element in this game, even though it is playing a kind of big role. Regardless though, it always unlocks the same thing. It unlocks the next story level, the free paint mode of the current level, the cutscene of the current level, then the 2 secret missions of the current level if you get gold. Which, this is the one we didn't get gold on, so we didn't get all the secret missions. And yeah, this series is just getting longer and longer as we continue to spend longer and longer per level. Yep. And after the Hanging Gardens, it seems kind of obvious that there would be 2 more, which means there's 9 levels in total, not even making it up to 10, unless there's some special 10th level, or they just break it up in a different way. Yeah. There's perhaps maybe some room for some branching paths here, in which you could choose which direction you would go. There's still not really a good reason why you would want to ever play in free paint mode. That seems like that just gives you less options and takes away the timer aspect. There's quite a few audio sections here still, so it feels like I'll have to do some extra things to unlock audio options. Yeah. And you would just expect there to be more extras than cutscenes. Well, wait a minute. If we just did the Docklands, and the next one's Hanging Gardens, and then I said I see 3, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 with the ending. So maybe there are 10 levels. It would make a lot more sense that there would be 10 levels. But yeah. None of these galleries are unlocked. And you would think you would have unlocked some of this to begin with. Feels like it's all going to be locked behind some kind of requirement. Yeah, it seems to me like to unlock a gallery, you're going to end up having to get a award for each section, which means multiple playthroughs. And I'd really have to question whether it's worth your time to go through a multiple playthrough of a level, particularly if you're just looking for trees. Inherently, the game doesn't have that big of a hook to make me want to go back to even the first level and say, hey, let's get all the styles and all the radians and all the trees and also do it under the time condition. And then this award says 75% painted, which makes me wonder if there might actually be something unlocked if you get 100% painted in each level. Which, yeah, I just don't see myself spending that much time. And yeah, the audio in the menu is a little loud. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's a link down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.